Most AI engineering portfolios get rejected in 11 seconds. Not because they are bad, but because the hiring managers have already seen the exact RAG chatbot 40 times this month. Same LangChain quick start. You need to do something different, something much more bigger and better. So today, I'm going to talk about 3 projects. 3 because I would rather have you build one thing deep enough to survive a real conversation than 5 things that just look busy on your resume. But before we get to the projects, let's first talk about why this market is worth the effort in the first place, why AI engineering is becoming this hottest job in the job market. Now, LinkedIn's 2026 Jobs on the Rise report said that AI engineering jobs ranked AI engineer as the #1 fastest growing job title, with postings up 143% year over year, and the average pay for this role is around $200,000. So here's the most important part. The median prior experience for people hired in this role is under 4 years, which proves that it's accessible to early and mid-career engineers if you focus on the right thing. That is the great news. So if the jobs are there and the pay is real, why are so many people applying and hearing nothing back? Now, it's rarely just one thing. It's a full pipeline breaking down at 4 different points. Let's look at them. Now, the first point is weak fundamentals. People just jump straight into building a chatbot without actually understanding how transformers work, how embeddings work, or what even is a token, or why prompt behaves differently at a certain temperature, 0 or 1. Second is generic portfolios. Even when the fundamentals are there, let's say you are good at step 1, the projects are identical to 10,000 other GitHub repos because everyone's following the same tutorials. It doesn't matter. Then the third is missing production skills. No evaluation, no observability, no error handling, nothing that actually shows the project could survive in real world. And fourth is poor applications. A great project buried in a resume that reads like a job description and a GitHub profile with 40 half-finished repos where nobody can find the 2 that actually work. Now, fix all 4 and you're most of the way there. So let's go in order, starting with number 1, the skills. Now, think of skills you need in 3 different layers. Layer 1 is core AI engineering skills, working with LLM APIs, prompt engineering that actually holds up under edge cases, retrieval and embeddings, function and tool calling. This is table stakes. Without this layer, nothing else will matter. So you have to master this. Layer 2 is the production concerns, the stuff that nobody talks about in the tutorials. How do you evaluate observability, latency, budgets, cost per request, handling API failures without your whole app falling over? This is the layer that turns a demo into something that a company could actually run in production. Then third layer is the specialized ML depth. Fine-tuning a model, working with PyTorch and Hugging Face directly, understanding model behavior well enough to know when prompting has hit its ceiling and training is the actual answer. Not everyone needs to go as deep as this, but it separates you from I can call an LLM API to I actually understand what's happening underneath and I can tell you when to fine-tune. If you want the fastest structured way to build all 3 layers without stitching together 20 random tutorials, then check out DataCamp. I've used DataCamp myself because it is one of the very few platforms that's actually built for hands-on. You're writing code in the browser, getting instant feedback and building real projects instead of just watching someone else typing. Their Associate AI Engineer for Developers track is especially relevant here because it teaches the stack companies that actually want, working with the OpenAI API, prompt engineering, Hugging Face, LangChain, embeddings, Pinecone, plus the LLM ops side that most courses skip. handling APIs reliably, and shipping AI features into real applications. And if you are coming from a data science or ML background, then DataCamp also has an associate AI engineer for data scientist track. This one goes deep on PyTorch, LLMs, fine-tuning, and MLOps. Now, both tracks line up with DataCamp's AI engineer certification, which is a timed exam plus a practical exam where you build a real AI application. So it's not a multiple choice quiz badge. It is actually a credential that proves that you've done this work, and it can directly go on your resume and LinkedIn. So if you are serious about landing an AI engineer role and getting past the 11-second filter is important to you, then use the links in the description and pick the track that fits you best. Okay, we have the skills in place. Now let's build something with these. All right, so we're going to talk about 3 projects. Each one of these stack 2 or 3 skills together the way a real-world application does. So don't skip the last project because it is important. We are opening with the first project, real-time pipelines, voice, vision, or streaming logs, whichever pulls you in, with observability wired through the whole thing from day one. So here's how to get started. Get it flowing end-to-end first. Audio in, transcription, reasoning, and then response out. Or webcam in, detection, explanation out. Don't touch optimization yet. Just get data flowing, moving without the pipeline falling over. Now, once that's working, break your latency into an actual budget. Time in transcription, time waiting on the model's first token, time in synthesis, visualizing that breakdown per request. Our response time is X seconds and we made it Y seconds. That is exactly what your goal should be, because that will highlight a real conversation with the hiring manager. Then trace everything while you're at it. Every request, not just the average, cost per request, failure rates. Keep that habit close because it matters when you're talking about real production system. And the last piece is resilience. What happens when your transcription service dies or it fails mid-request? What do you do? How do you gracefully come back? How do you do hard timeouts, a replay mode, or you can feed a recorded input back through for debugging? This is what makes it look like someone actually sat down there and thought about what breaks. Project 2 is a structured extraction agent. Local first and then fine-tuned until it's actually reliable. So pulling line items out of a messy receipts, extracting clean tool call parameters from a pile of unstructured support tickets. Whatever you like, do that here. Something where usually right isn't a good enough answer. Get a small model running locally. 3 to 7 billion parameters is perfect through something like Olama. Force JSON outputs, validate with Pydantic, and if it comes back malformed, retry once with a corrected prompt instead of failing. Constrain, validate, retry. That loop is everything in real systems, and almost nobody talks about this in the portfolios. Now benchmark 2 or 3 candidates on the same hardware, same prompts, tokens per second, memory, accuracy on your actual task. Try quantization. See what happens with that. Did you make real trade-offs? I just compared GLM 5.2 with Opus. I'll link that video here. You can follow the exact same process for this project. Then fine-tune. This is where you usually right becomes reliably right. So take your best base model, fine-tune with LoRa on a couple thousand clean task-specific examples, and then measure the before and after. JSON validity, exact match, whether it knows when to refuse. Show the training curve, show the actual numbers, prompted only next to the fine-tuned beats. This comparison between a fine-tuned version and just a prompted version is gold on resumes. Here's the one I told you not to skip. Domain-specific retrieval system. Pick a corpus of data that you actually care about. It could be contracts, medical guidelines, your own company's internal documents, something that answers with real citations instead of confident-sounding hallucinated guesses. Start simple, ingest, chunk around 500 to 800 tokens with something like 100 tokens of overlap, so you're not slicing a sentence in half at the boundary. Embed, build retrieval that cites exactly where each claims are. And at this point, it works, but it's not really as impressive. So in order to make it production shaped, You want to do hybrid retrieval, keyword search next to vector search, because vector search reads meaning well and misses exact phrases really badly. A re-ranker that rescores retrieval chunks against the queries. Citations enforced hard enough that the system just declines to answer when nothing in context actually backs it up. Prompts live in a versioned config file, same as everything else. They are part of the system, not an afterthought. Then close it with evaluation, a golden set, 50 to a couple hundred question-answer pairs that are human written, scored for faithfulness, wired into CI, so every change gets evaluated automatically. Quality drops, the build fails. That's the whole point. And notice what this really is. The same observability discipline that we discussed in Project 1, just applied in a batch pipeline instead of live one. That's why it's last. It's the project that proves that you can connect all three. We've built the skills, we've built the projects. You actually need someone to see them to get this job. So start with where the jobs are. LinkedIn is the obvious place, but set up alerts for the actual title variations. AI engineer, applied AI engineer, forward deployed engineer, ML engineer with LLM focus, because postings are split across all of them. Company career pages sometimes move faster than these job boards for AI heavy startups, and a referral can do wonders. So try to find someone in your network that works for the companies that you want to be working for, or if you have located a role in this company, definitely try to find someone who works there, reach out to them. A referral is going to do much more for you than just applying. Now, your resume needs to also lead with projects, not just bury them. So don't just say familiar with LangChain and vector databases. Actually make sure you write build a RAG system with hybrid retrieval, CI-gated evaluations, cutting hallucinations across X%, 150 questions set, specific, measurable. It's a sentence that hiring manager actually wants to run into. And clean up your GitHub before anyone else sees it. Pin the 3 projects that we just built. Archive and delete any half-finished tutorial clones because they are ruining your profile, diluting the other work that you've done that are sitting next to it. Now, every one of those 3 repos that we created, add README to it. That explains the architecture, the trade-offs you made, and what you would do differently next time. That last part is extremely important. That is systems thinking. Now, once you're in the room, you've got the interview for AI engineer, you have to focus on 3 areas. System design for AI applications, sketch out how you would architect a RAG pipeline or an agent system for a given use case, and be ready to defend the choices like why hybrid retrieval, why not pure vector search? How would you handle a different model provider or switch it? On types of RAG, I've done a video recently, which we will link here and in the description below if you want to check that out. Now, second piece is live coding, usually Python, often involving an actual LLM API call, sometimes debugging a broken prompt or a malformed JSON parser live on the call. You definitely should go through a refresher on APIs, especially for AI. I've done a video recently that we will link here and in the description. This is exactly constraint validate retry pattern that we talked about in Project 2, so it should have prepared you for that. And number 3 is portfolio discussion. Walk through your own project and expect to get pushback on them. Why did you choose a certain way of chunking, the size of chunking? What would you change if you had another month? What broke during evaluation? What did you learn through the project? If you actually built the 3 projects instead of skimming a tutorial, these are the easiest types of questions you could get in the entire interview, and it is really your opportunity to shine with all of your learnings. So the market's real, the pay is real, and the path is these 4 skills that we just talked about. If you'd like to continue to learn more about AI engineering, the salaries, I've got some videos here. I will see you in that.